That feeling when no dummy Heihachi? I prefer my dummy gym. Okay, let's learn some anti-Zafina, because she can be a very cheesy character. Especially online, right now, when nobody knows the character yet. First thing to remember about Zafina, she is one of the best backdashes in the game, if not the best. And an above average sidestep, so don't be surprised if Zafina can outspace you well. Keep that in mind. Next thing, there are some cheesy strings and moves that Zafina players are gonna try to use against you to test your knowledge of the character. I'm gonna try to list the most well-known ones, or the obvious one and the annoying ones. So I guess we could start with 1+2. This is a 16 frame counter hit launcher and a very important move with Zafina. It also tracks really well to her right, so it's gonna be a tool people are going to use against you if you sidestep to your left. And this is -12 on block. But it does have extensions. 1+2 4, which is -10, the extension. And it also had 1+2 4 4, another extension. I believe both of these extensions are -10 or something like that. All of the hits are unsafe. Zafina players will try to finish the string sometimes to discourage you from punishing the first hit. And if the second hit counter hits, the last hit is guaranteed and it becomes a counter hit launcher. The same if the first hit counter hits and they decide to finish the whole string, also a counter hit launcher for big damage. And the last hit is a normal hit launcher regardless. But there is no mix up to it, so just block the mid. Also, these two hits, the last two hits, are not natural on normal hit, only on counter hit, okay? Okay, next thing to remember, she has a really good down forward one. It reaches really low, but it's also -5 on block. I believe it's -5 on block, and it tracks to the other side, to her left. Zafina actually has really good tracking. So I think your main option versus Zafina should be backdashing. She has two extensions, down forward 1-4. This is her 13 frame Punisher at wall splats, and you can duck the second hit. And down forward 1-2, which is unsafe. Something like -11, the second hit. And it has a third hit, which is around -13, I believe. Once again, there is no mix up to this string, so just block all of the hits. Also, the last hit gives her a guaranteed stomp, which kinda hurts. God damn it. There we go. They're gonna try to discourage you from punishing the second hit with the third hit. Forward 3, this is a really abusable counter hit launcher for Zafina. Remember that this is +4 on block. And she can go to Scarecrow Stance or not go to Scarecrow Stance and choose to stay in neutral. Do not get fooled by the second hit, it's kinda useless, around -16 on block. Very unsafe. And this mid right here, a lot of scrubs Zafinas are gonna abuse because it hits across the whole stage. This is actually -12 on block, but she can go to Manta Stance with holding down, which will make highs and some mids whiff, so your best bet is a 12 frame mid that will hit low enough, or something like a generic down 4. Thank you very much for the raid, Kamui. We're doing anti-Zafina strats today. And she has forward forward 4, which is a really abusable homing move. Safe. You can try to float this out of the air with jabs, because it's like a hop kick. It's an airborne move, apparently. What else there is? Down 3. This is a kilo poke for her. It crushes so much. It goes in even under some mids. And it has a little bit of tracking to her right. Now, most Zafinas will transition into Manta Stance because the transition makes the slow safer on block. It's -13 if she goes into Manta Stance, and she also gets a full juggle on counter hit from down 3 if she goes into Manta Stance. So be careful. Like this. It's -13. She also has this full crouch low, which gives her a guaranteed hit. Don't be fooled, this low is launch punishable on block. But also, I think this is also really linear, so just step it and slow. I'm trying to think of other cheesy stuff about her. She has a lot of plus on block moves, like forward forward 2, this is a homing move that is a counter hit launcher, it's +1 on block. Up forward 1 is +4 on block. And she also has this little low poke, which I'm sure many Zafina players have used because of its amazing range. It goes under everything, but this is launch punishable on block. That is if you can reach it, because it has quite a lot of pushback. And it's minus on hit, so don't let her continue her pressure after this. But most good Zafina players will just backdash, because look at the distance between you and her. Down 4, 3, 4. True, you gotta duck the second hit. This is also a scrubby string if not used as a punisher. And the same with forward 2, 3. Duck the second hit. It also has a third hit, which is a mid. And unsafe. I believe the first hit is a counter hit launcher. That's why Zafina players will try to use it. And the second hit, I believe, is a counter hit launcher too. No, okay, it's not. The first hit is a counter hit launcher. Trying to think of more stuff. Forward 3 will probably be one of her best ways of entering Scarecrow Stance, and the one you'll see very common. But actually, you can backdash almost everything she does afterwards. Let me show you. Guard all and backdash. It's okay. Maybe not at all ranges. Okay, you can backdash it somewhat. Scarecrow 1+2. This is a really important mid for Zafina. It's one of her best moves. Mid counter hit launcher that is +6 on block and can go to Tarantula Stance. Remember that. It's also one of her best ways of entering Tarantula Stance. And it also hits grounded and hits side roll on the ground as well. Let me try to show you. Yeah, hits grounded, and then she can go to Tarantula Stance for Okizemi. And when she does Scarecrow 1+2 and transitions into Tarantula Stance, what I like to do are frame traps. So we can talk about Tarantula Stance now. She has a couple of really annoying moves from here. One of them is this Tarantula Sweep. Launch punishable on block, obviously. But I believe it's something like... No, yeah, it's minus a lot. Should be. She also has a safe mid launcher with Tarantula too, but that's really slow, so you shouldn't really get hit by that ever. But the most notable moves are Tarantula 1, which is a really annoying low poke. It's minus 11 on block, so your best bet is to low parry this. And it also knocks down on counter hit. And let me see if there is something guaranteed afterwards. Maybe not. Okay, the sweep is guaranteed. If you stand up the wrong way, she may be able to get a combo. No, probably not a combo, but it hurts. And there's Tarantula 3, which is a 14 frame low poke, mid poke, which also gives not really a guaranteed sweep, but it works very often. Let me try this sweep right here. And if the Zafina player goes for the low sweep after you get hit by the mid, you have to wake up by holding down back to block the follow-up slow. Also, if you block a move from Tarantula Stance, try to hit her out of the stance, because she cannot block in the stance, and obviously when you block a move, you have a frame advantage, so try to hit her out of the stance as soon as you can. And I forgot to mention that this low poke is +5 on hit. It's a really good amount of frame advantage. And then she has Tarantula 1+2. This is like a hop kick from Tarantula Stance. It goes over lows, it can be floated midair, and it's -12 on block. And puts the opponent into full crouch on block, so you have to punish this with a wall standing 4. Or if you're a Nana player, it's time to do full crouch mix-ups. And I think that's all for Tarantula Stance. Up forward 1+2 will be a very common way of entering the stance, but it's not plus on block, so you should be able to interrupt her. Just find out which moves of yours hit Tarantula Stance. How fast is the 1+2? I actually don't know. Not sure. Good evening, Yuri. The stance is alright, it's just that her options are pretty limited. But she has good pokes. Tarantula 1 and Tarantula 3 is an annoying mix-up. Especially when she does Tarantula 1 into Tarantula 3. Tarantula 1 into Tarantula 3 on hit is a frame trap. And in most cases you shouldn't be able to backdash out of it, nor sidestep. It actually jails, you have to block it. Yeah. See? And a sidestep won't work either. I guess we could go on to Manta Stance. I already said that down 3 into Manta Stance will be one of her best transitions, because down 3 is actually around +4 on hit. So this gives her enough frame advantage to do some kind of mix-ups. And one move that you have to be aware of is Tarantula down 3-1. This string right here. No. Stand and guard all. One thing to remember about Manta Stance is that she can move around. She can sidestep, dash forward, dash back. It's almost like an AOP stance where she can block. In this stance, she can hold back to block mids and hold down back to block lows. And that makes this low mid string, which is -9 on block, actually safe, because she can just hold back to block. This is a counter hit launching string. Let me show you. There we go, boom, big damage. You have to low parry the first hit. Some other moves you should look out for is down 4, which is like a gimmicky sweep, launch punishable on block, and she has a bunch of other unsafe stuff like Tarantula 314. It should be around -14 or 13, something like that. One other move I would watch out for, or a couple of other moves, is 1+2, which is now her power crush from the stance. And I think it puts you into full crouch and is around -13. Don't quote me on this, but if you play Kazuya or something like that, you might be able to launch punish this. And I would also watch out for Manta Stance. This is a 13 frame mid-high string that is new to her in Tekken 7, but it jails on block. You cannot duck the high, and it's neutral on block, which means if you try to interrupt her with something slow, she can blow you up. She can blow you up with stuff like quick pokes. She has 10 frame jabs from Scarecrow stance. But remember that these jabs are not plus on block, they're -3 on block, so don't let her spam jabs and mix them up with more moves. And then she has... Actually, Scarecrow stance is one of her most YOLO stances. She can move around once again, do the Scarecrow dance. She cannot block in the stance, you can float her out of it. So the general strategy versus Scarecrow stance is either backdash a lot against it if you're not at the wall, because a lot of her stuff will not reach you if you backdash. And all these transitions, they seem to have some sort of pushback that allows you to backdash a lot of her stuff. Does she have a 13 frame launch on crouch? Nope, she only has a 15 frame launcher. Her wall standing punishment is pretty bad, so you can kind of abuse lows versus her if you want to. Lows that are something like -13 or 14. That could be a good strat against her. But let's talk more about Scarecrow stance. This is really a YOLO stance since she cannot block. In the previous games, the stance was also really linear, so you might be able to try and step her pressure. But now they added a homing sweep. This one. Both hits are natural on hit. You're gonna get launched for big damage if you get hit. But it's seeable. It's around 28 frames fast, so you should be able to react to it. And the range on the sweep is not that amazing either. From my experience, many opponents can just backdash this sweep. No problem. Might be a different story at the wall. She has a lot more annoying pokes, such as Scarecrow 3, which is a 13 frame mid poke, Scarecrow 3-3, Scarecrow 3-3-4. The low is -14, I believe. You should be able to low parry. Or, one time I successfully backdashed the last hit. Maybe Jin cannot backdash the last hit. Whatever. She also has Scarecrow down forward 4, which is, in my opinion, a really good low. Just note that this low is -14, has a lot of plus frames on hit, and it can go into Manta Stance. It's an important transition, because then she can frame trap you with Mantis down 3-1. Don't fall for that. I did not fart, that was a car outside. I'm sorry. Cars here are crazy. There's one other move you have to remember, and that's correct. Scarecrow 4. Infamous Scarecrow 4. This is a Power Crush that is also a launcher. And on top of that, it goes under highs and even some mids. It has a lot of evasiveness built in. And this is going to be the move that most YOLO Zafina players will spam against you to make you stop trying to interrupt Scarecrow stance. Once again, I would just try to backdash in most cases, such as when they do 1-3 into Scarecrow into Scarecrow 4 or 3 into Scarecrow 4 and punish. I don't think she can transition fast enough to standing to block launchers, so this should be launch punishable on block. Slovakian car mods. Yeah, I know. This kind of sucks. Drivers here are mad. What else is there from the stance? Yeah, a lot of annoying pokes, poke strings. Don't worry about these too much. If they just try to poke you like there's no tomorrow, sidestep or backdash. And watch out for the sweep. I don't think there's anything else to say about the stance. There's another gimmicky knockdown low, which should be seeable. Anything else, chat? Oh, 3+4, yeah. This is her tailspin move. Kinda useless in the neutral, since it's -12 on block. Fun fact, if she transitions into Manta Stance after the first hit of this string with down, it's launch punishable on hit. I believe it's around -14 on 15 on hit. But you won't see it very often. Scarecrow 1+2 is good near the wall. Yes, that's why I think that Scarecrow should be mostly a stance used at the wall. Because there's no way the opponent is going to backdash away from you. And she has a lot of also wall spotting tools. For example, Scarecrow 3 forward 3. What else does she have? Scarecrow down 3-3, which is also a launcher. But the second hit is a high. And I believe there is no mid mix up to it. So if they spam either down 3-3, no wait, this is down 3, and this is down 3-3. Just duck and punish both options. And some other transitions to Scarecrow is standing 3, which is also neutral on block, just like Mantis 1-3, so it's the same situation. 1-3, which is her 10 frame punisher, this is around +5 on hit, so here you kind of have to respect her. This is where I would backdash mostly. Also, I mentioned forward 4-3 into Scarecrow, and maybe at the wall, while standing 3 into Scarecrow. I believe this is plus on block and wall spots. So if you block this, Zafina gets more pressure. Is there any reason for them to do just one sweep instead of both? No reason. There's really no reason for it. I don't think so. Since both hits are natural and even the first hit staggers on block. The chat said Zafina is Pakistani. Aris's chat. Oh, they changed her nationality. Okay, we have Pakistani Zafina now. Trying to think of more scrubby strings. This is hella launch punishable. Also, this is around -13 or 14 from Tarantula Stance. You'll see many scrubs use this string. And I'm sure she has this string from... yeah, she has this from standing as well. With down 3... no, down 2... 3, 3 plus 4. Last hit is always punishable somehow. She seems so linear. No, she's not linear at all. She also has a lot of situational moves. Her wall bounce is actually -10 on block, goes under highs, but if she spaces this out properly, it's safe on block since you can't reach her. This is a homing launcher that goes under highs. I believe this is +10 on block. This shouldn't be safe, no. Wait, what did I just say? +10 on block? Sorry, I meant -10 on block. I wish it was... it's safe? Really? Okay, so this is safe. This is another homing move. It has some built-in evasion, once again. She gets a follow-up afterwards. This is not bottom block, and it's a homing move. And then she has a parry too. Be aware of that. This parry wall splits. So if you're at the wall, expect the Zafina player to try to parry you. But it also absorbs hits. It's like a power crush. I believe this is a power crush, not a parry actually. Any bad matchups for Zafina? Like, which character am I gonna look out for? I'd say use a character with good punishment. That's gonna be her biggest weakness, being punished. I'd say use 2D characters against her. I don't know about that. Okay. Another swing. 1-4. But this goes into Tarantula Stance and there's quite some distance between you, so just backdash. What else can she do at this range other than Tarantula 1+2, which you will punish since it's -12 on block? I think I got almost everything. Okay, one more important thing. Her down forward 2, it goes under highs and it has really good range. And it has some tracking to one side. I believe to her left, but I'm not sure. But it's -12 on block. Make sure to punish her down forward 2. You'll see a lot of Zafina players try to go under your jabs with this. I think I got everything. This is a string that is a counter launcher. She has a lot of scrubby strings. Just go check out those in practice mode. Find out how to punish them and you're good. She has many useless gimmicky strings. But I think I covered her core gameplay quite well.